Uh, Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? You can type on the chat. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen. So we saw the different, the most popular hash functions, and that is MD5, secure hash 256, and SHA1, and secure hash 512, which uses different cryptographic algorithms. So secure hash algorithm, we saw that it is the most popular in most blockchain, including Bitcoin. We also saw the different limitations of blockchain. The limitations of blockchain. So since blockchain is not a cure for everything, it's just a tool, or it's just a tool that you can use for different specific task. If your if your part of your organization wants to use blockchain, it can use, and the other part you use maybe AI, or you combine the both. So we also looked at an example, another challenge, and that was, the other challenge was 51% attack in quantum computing. And we also looked at the components of a block. We have a block header and a block body. And inside a block header, we have the version number of the software, the hash of the previous block, the root hash of the Marco tree, the time stamp in seconds, the goal of the current difficulty, and the nouns. And also on the the block body is conceivable as the loading space of a track. It contains all transactions valid confirmed within the block. When a miner constructs a block, it validates the transaction that he checks that the sender actually has enough money to send. So the block body contains that, and the miner is able to check whether Damaris have the 20 bitcoins that she wants to send. If she doesn't have, then the transaction is thrown away and it doesn't even take place. It's rejected by the miners. So the miners works as cracks, as I had earlier explained. They work as cracks or cashiers. Their work is to confirm that this account is legitimate and it has this amount of money, and these are the transactions that this account has been doing and has been making. That is the work of the miners. So yeah, then today we will look the reason why blockchain is important. And I'll also make a clarification once again that most people confuse cryptocurrency and blockchain. So blockchain is the underlying technology behind cryptocurrency. The most significant advantage of blockchain's distributed ledger is a reduced cost. So that is one of the advantage, that blockchain has reduced operational cost. For processes that uses spreadsheet, you will like for cashiers and in terms of people who do machine learning, they use a lot of spreadsheet when they are doing calculation in their day-to-day calculation, when they are creating models and everything. So for you to store that data, you need a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet can hold a maximum number of records, and then you will need to create another spreadsheet when you have been. So when you create a blockchain solution for records that are stored in spreadsheet, then you will be reducing the cost of managing that data significantly, because you will only need to be the only need that you will the only thing you will be doing is adding data on to the blockchain, adding data to the blockchain, and then the cost of creating backup, hiring like 2 data scientists or data analysts to come and analyze your data will always be reduced, because you will only need one person to update that record. That is one of the best advantage. Cost can be taken out of existing processes by removing intermediaries or the administrative effort of record keeping and transaction reconciliations. Yeah. So by another advantage is that it eliminates intermediaries or middlemen. By that I mean that eliminating the middlemen or data gatekeepers, blockchain allows companies to quickly and easily trace products and transactions all the way back to their root. So, for example, like the case that I've shown you of the Israel government, for them to do the tracking of those addresses and to see their origin, if they were to go to the bank would have asked them for statements to so that they can be able to open those particular accounts. But with blockchain, they have been able to track those addresses without even having to involve any intermediaries, and the perpetrators of those actions have been held accountable. So another thing is for me share something about banks. Banks versus blockchain. Okay, yeah. So this is the perfect illustration. So traditional money transfer of money is done this way, or the current for people who are still in the banking industry, or people who are still people who have
Hello.
hello.
We can only see the slide.
Okay. Okay. Let me share that image again. Can you see the image now? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So traditional money transfer, for you to send money, it was for you to send money with this in the fiat, with using fiat currency and traditional methods of transferring money, you had to use intermediaries. Like I'll use a case scenario or a case that used to that in before M-Pesa came, people used to use MoneyGram. MoneyGram is a form of money transfer. So MoneyGram, I think it used to be part of the cooperative bank called KCB. Yeah, I don't know, Cooperative Bank or KCB, I think. Yeah, they were the ones who used they had that money transfer. So money would be deposited to MoneyGram, and then from MoneyGram to your local bank account. So in between there is friction, there is transaction cost. Like sending money from US to MoneyGram would cost maybe like 100, then reducing the amount of money you are sending, and making it even hard for people in the rural areas or people who are not banked, making it hard for them to receive money. So with these new forms of money transfer, that is mobile money transfer and blockchain, we are able to eliminate. With mobile money, still there is middlemen, because in when you're using M-Pesa, there is still that central organization, and that is Safaricom. So they still charge you for that extra cost, and they have actually created different charges for that, like for sending 1,000, for sending and withdrawing 1,000, the cost is around 20 25, or is it 25? Hello? Yeah, I think it's 25. And then if you go higher to up to maybe 10,000, then the cost goes on increasing. The cost goes on increasing. So, but with blockchain, the intermediaries are eliminated, and only small cost of, if you want to transfer 1 billion to, let's say, I want to transfer 1 billion to Damaris, and Ambrose also wants to transfer like 100 bob to Damaris, then the transaction cost will be the same for both transactions. So you see, you are not only eliminating intermediaries, but at the same time you have reduced the transaction cost, which is the best benefit, or the best uh, one of the advantage that somebody would want to use blockchain. So
Hello.
yeah, hello.
Regarding that, I have a query. Why is it when mostly with Ethereum,
Yes.
the gas fees keep fluctuating? Yes, the
Okay.
fee is constant for any amount you're sending, but the gas fees fluctuates.
So the more people use the more people are using Ethereum, or the more the demand grows. Uh, the transactions are quite high on Ethereum, because of trying to look for. So, due to the high number of people doing transactions on Ethereum, or the more the currency, or the currency is uh, so so when many people when more people are doing more transaction on a blockchain, the gas fee keeps on rising. I'm looking for a technical term to give you the answer. as to the reason as to why, because some other blockchains are not, the gas fee is not rising, or is not so high. And yeah, but it's more basically because of more transactions and more traders
Is
who are,
that
yes,
is that what you call slippage?
yeah,
It's slippage.
yeah, 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 exactly. So that is the term I was looking for. Yeah, but there is something that now today there is this other guy, and you can also take a look at his YouTube account. His name is Gregory from DAP University, and he also this one. So he explains different events which are happening under the Ethereum blockchain, which are happening on the Ethereum blockchain, and one of the events which are coming, I don't know whether they were supposed to happen June or July, this month or last month. They were supposed to have updated, so they are doing a fix on the gases, because blockchains like Cero, they have less gas fee, which is let's check it out right now. So zero gas fee at the moment is at okay. This one cannot give us accurate, but yeah, the current fees on the network are around 0.0001 per transaction, which is good, because with Ethereum, you have transactions which are leading to 0.05 or 4 ETH, which is a lot. Yeah. But with different blockchains have been able to mitigate the problem of gas fees. Yeah. So that is one of uh, the shortcomings which are in the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah. So after eliminating the intermediaries, you are able to reduce the transaction cost, and also you are able to remove the barriers that are created by the bank. So another thing which is great when you remove the intermediaries is that uh, you also remove that part where banking makes a lot of money using your money. So people who do borrow loans or get loans, they normally know where the bank gets loans from other users' account. So initially, when you save in a bank, that money that you have saved in the bank, you only have like you only have less. So the bank uses your money to lend to people. So when you want to withdraw, they just make sure that that loan is returned. Yeah, for big people who do that, they it, okay. I'm not in finance. So this one will be a little bit difficult to explain, but that's what normally that is what happens. So when you save in a bank, the bank uses your money to lend to people who wants to borrow loans. So if a bank is very small and they like the normally I've seen this with the circles, saving circles. So if the saving circles is very small and it doesn't have a big user based or users, then when they lend a lot of money to different users, the circles are the circles normally fail because the users are not able to pay loans in time. If the users are not able to pay loans in time, and then another thing is that this you have to the bank has to create a reputation of being private and trustworthy, because we have seen banks which like in recent years we have seen like Chase Bank collapsing and users having to complain that they never received their money after the bank collapsed. Yeah. So with that, with blockchain, you are in charge of your funds, and there is no intermediary. There is no person who is controlling your funds. So you are in charge of your funds. Sometimes we normally see M-Pesa fail, and when you want to pay for services and you find that the services are down, uh, then because of the centralized nature of M-Pesa, sometimes it becomes hard when you are doing transaction when the system is under maintenance. But with blockchain, uh, if there is a maintenance, the communities there is no interference with the transaction. Like right now, Ethereum is planning for updates. Other blockchains are also are working on updates on different updates, but you won't find that Ethereum has a downtime like Ethereum did hang or something. Yeah. So that's the other advantage of blockchain. Let's go back to our notes. Uh, sure. You can see the slides. You can type.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that is it. So by eliminating the middleman or data gatekeepers, blockchain allows companies to quickly and easily trace products and transactions all the way back to their roots. Walmart, for example, successfully decreased the time it takes to trace food from store shelves to, to the farm from 7 days to 2.5 to 2.2 seconds using a blockchain. According to IBM's Kelly, that time saving also results in considerable cost saving. So you can see there is also time saving, and as from the other advantage, or which was reduction of operation cost and cost itself, you can see. So from 7 days to 2.2 seconds. So additionally, this streamlined efficiency provide transparency. But from that, there is transparency, reliability, and authenticity of data. That data which has been created has not been cooked or manipulated. So back to an example I gave, I think it was the first day we started our class, gave about two hospitals in UK which used AI and blockchain for monitoring the records or the condition of the vaccines in a refrigerator, which the vaccine are supposed to be stored in minus 70 degrees. So when you capture that data using sensors and sending that data, which has been collected by the sensors all the way to a blockchain directory, it makes it better because that data won't be manipulated, and then that data is real time. So making that data reliable and authentic. And let's not forget about security. Security is a major advantage of blockchain. With the encryption methods and techniques we learned yesterday, that is secure hash algorithm, data is secured. It's a one-time encryption. When you create a hash, you create it one time. There is no way you can be able to decode. Because data is shared on multiple systems in multiple countries and validated before it's recorded, it's more secure. Each data block is encrypted and linked to the other one before it. So compared with traditional database technologies and centralized system, blockchain implementation can be relatively cheaper and require considerably less IT investment to maintain. So once you create it, the initial cost is high for creating the system, but once you have created it, it's easy to maintain. It's easy to maintain. The initial cost is always high for most systems, but once you have created the system, it's easy to maintain, unlike the other forms of database. However, this I think I mentioned yesterday. However, as the technology is still relatively immature for the time being, these savings on the ongoing operation cost may be an offset by significant upfront development. So like I've mentioned, the initial setup or the initial development is quite high because some of these projects are costing like to hire a blockchain developer in Silicon Valley. The minimum not an intermediate, but a full stack developer in blockchain. The cost is around 60,000 USD. Yeah. And then you haven't counted the cost of paying for the platform. But once you have spent on the initial cost of the development, then the maintenance cost will significantly reduced. Yeah. So that is one of the reason why blockchain is uh, great. And then we can go to the next topic, why blockchain is important, all the different use cases in banking and finance and other sectors. So blockchain is playing a big role in banking and finance through payments by establishing a decentralized ledger for payment. Blockchain technology could facilitate faster payment at lower fees than banks. Clearance and settlement system, distributed ledgers can reduce operational costs and bring us closer to real-time transaction between financial institutions. Trade trade finance by repressing the cumbersome paper-heavy bills of lending process. In the trade finance industry, blockchain technology can create more transparency, security, and trust among trade parties globally. You have securities by tokenizing traditional securities such as stocks, bonds, and alternative assets, and replacing them on public blockchains. Blockchain technology could create more efficient, interoperable capital markets. Interoperable means that systems can be able to be integrated with other systems. There is always that barrier for different companies and organizations. So with a standardized way, using blockchain will create a standard way of creating more efficient capital markets. Customer KYC and fraud prevention. By storing customer information on a decentralized blockchain technology can make it easier and safer to share information between financial institutions. Loans and credit. By removing the need of gatekeepers in the loan and credit industry, blockchain technology can make it more secure to borrow money and provide lower interest rates. That is the importance of blockchain in banking and finance. The other one is why is blockchain is important in healthcare. So in research, this would allow researchers and other organizations to access the wide spectrum of data with cohorts of hundreds of thousands of patients. The availability of such massive amounts of data would greatly promote clinical research, safety event, and advanced event reporting and identification and public health reporting. So this one, there is something called, hope you can see the browser.
Yes.
Okay, so there is this something called DTube. I think DTube app. DTube app. There is DTube app, and then there is is it Terra? Is it Terra? Blockchain for the for research. So DTube is a decentralized YouTube. It's a decentralized YouTube where creators or people who have. There is another one that looks like Medium. I can't remember its name, where people post their own finding, their own research. It also looks like academia. I don't know if you know academia. Academia. So no, don't remember the name of that site. So we have another site called Academia, where researcher and university students are able to post their research papers and projects and research projects in different fields. And then we have DTube, where people who have original videos and original ideas do they post there. their content there, and then they are rewarded with coins. So like this one has 58 DTCs. So this 58 DTCs is the reward for such creating such contents. So there are people who joined here earlier and they are able to make money doing that. So for those who ask how meme creators or people who content creators how they can be able to earn, this is another way they can be able to earn. If they have an original research, if they have original content, they can be able to post here and something. So it has to be something informational. So there obviously there is a guide on how they can do that. So yeah, this academia, it has where researchers and people in the uh, in different fields are able to post their research and findings and papers and projects. Yeah. So from this, if we go to health records on patients records and health research, many organizations are not able to share because they fear that this information may be stolen, or this information is not worth sharing to the audience, because there are no in the HTTPS field, in the Web3 technology, data is not well protected. So they fear if they share this research, then there will be no there will be no there will be people who will use that information maliciously. But with blockchain and creation of different laws, different organization and different hospital all over the world can be able to share maybe an incident or a case, like for example the case of COVID. If that information was shared early enough with different hospitals in the world, and with the whole world, for the doctors, then the doctors would have been able to like come up with a vaccine early enough, and also prevent the pandemic escalating to other parts of the world. So there is a friend of mine who we participated a hackathon with, who is working in such who is creating such a solution where he wants data as a public service, data as a public service that is providing information instead of monetizing the findings. Like different organizations do research and then they monetize on that research instead of sharing and then getting credit. Yeah. So another important is faster, cheaper, and better patient care. Blockchain can create a single system for storage and constantly updated health records for secure and rapid retrieval by authorized users. By avoiding miscommunication between different healthcare professions involved in caring for the same patient, uh, innumerable mistakes can be prevented, faster diagnosis and intervention become possible, and care can be personalized to each patient. So, since every record is related to since blockchain or every record is related to one person, if you create an account on a blockchain system, that account belongs to you. And the patient records, in Africa, we have the poorest way of keeping patients records. So if we actually look back to the time we were born all the way to right now, if you visit different hospitals, you will never find your records. So when you are, a diagnosis is made maybe in a different hospital and then you go to another hospital, there is no way they are able to compare those notes and see where who was able to detect the disease very at an early stage. So there is no way they can be able to know there is no way they can be able to know when your problem started. And that's why you find that some hospitals I'll misdiagnosing people with that people have cancer and yet they don't have cancer. So you go to a hospital and then the doctor misdiagnoses you and then tells you that you have cancer. Little did you know that this doctor wanted just to make money out of you. But with that information distributed and then maybe the lab results shared with other hospitals and other doctors, we can be able to prevent and diagnose patients uh, the illness of a patient very fast. And yeah, and yeah, the records becomes personalized, so that even if you go to another country, they will be able to visit your patient records without having to follow a lot of procedures. And they will be able to know that your illness started from here, and this doctor of yours did a misdiagnosis on you, and this was supposed to be the cure. So from the research and better patient care. From the research, if a research incident is shared, then other doctors are able to pick up those procedures and standards, and they are able to also prevent diseases in other areas. Yeah. Another thing is tracing and securing medical supplies. So we have seen the first hospitals in the world to use this tracing and securing medical supplies, the UK hospitals. Blockchain can help secure and identify the trail of pharmaceutical supplies with full transparency. It can even provide monitoring of the labor cost and carbon emission involved in the manufactures of these supplies. Health insurance claims health and insurance claim is another solution blockchain can be able to do. The blockchain is uniquely adapted to claim processing because of its ability to present medical event as they occurred without the potential for changing the data at a later stage for purposes of fraud. So this one can also be avoided using blockchain. We have seen different insurance companies providing with less insurance once when you you get to hospital, but in the early stages or doing fraud, giving the rich the full coverage of insurance at the cost of the person who is poor. So with such incidences, blockchain can be able to do the traces, and then there are paper. Since in insurance there is a lot of paperwork, or the current form of data storage is not immutable, people can be able to change and do fraud to claim insurance. So tracking diseases and outbreak, this one is clear. The unique capability of blockchain can help real-time disease reporting and the exploration of disease pattern that can help identify its origin and transmission parameters. In cases of COVID-19, we are able, we using technology right now, we are able to see different we are able to know a variant that came from India is in is originated from media. We are able to see different variants from different nations, and we are able to see how these guys were able to counter that variant of COVID-19. And then, so when they are able to now, since there is technology which is being used, AI and blockchain together, yeah. Another importance of blockchain is in supply chain, transportation, and agriculture. So uh, letter of credit is a mm, so to guarantee letter of credit is to guarantee that the payment will be released on time in in full. Uh, International traders employ a letter of credit or a documentary of credit is a multi-step transaction that involves at least four parties. One is the buyer, the importer's bank, the one who is importing bank, and the exporter's bank and the seller's bank. And numerous, which consumes a lot of time and procedures. So with blockchain, this company called Voltron accelerates transactions. Exporters operating in high competitive environment often have to ship their products as soon as possible before the cargo is paid for. The situation process is poses high risk for sellers who usually do not know their foreign buyers personally. So Voltron has been able to counter that. Proof of delivery. So proof of delivery is a consensus mechanism, or yeah, carriers and shippers are welcome to benefit from Ethereum smart contract. A proof of delivery is an important step in the logistic. It confirms that the product was transported to its destination safely and accepted by a recipient. Some companies still require a receiving party to sign paper forms. Others use POD softwares to capture IDs and electronic signatures, uh, which is tedious. The use of POD softwares, which is very tedious. In food supply chains, to achieve this, from farm to plate, traceability, and thus enhances food safety. 10 leading food producers and retailers, including Nesto and Unilever and Walmart, team up together with IBM to build the Food Trust Network with Hyperledger Fabric as its core. Currently, the initiative involves more than eight companies, and we have seen that since they deployed the system, they have been able to reduce the tracking of food from 7 days to 2.2 seconds. Container shipping, Masek and Port of Rotterdam bring transparency into global trade. Masek is the world's largest container company, introduced the first blockchain fueled shipping platform called TradeLens in 2018. The Danish shipping giant that has approximately 20% of the global market share created its advanced solution on top of IBM blockchain platform, which in turn uses the open source Hyperledger Fabric code base from the Linux Foundation. So that is in container and shipping, in transportation, better pricing and payment option. So blockchain technology can provide lower cost and faster payment option to agree commerce participant in the current system. It often takes weeks for farmers to get paid for their goods, and traditional options such as wire transfer can be quite costly. Blockchain can address some of these inefficiencies. Yeah, there is guy here in Kenya who is creating uh, what is known as coffee and blockchain in Kenya. Uh, so his company is called that is looking for his name, the company's name is, so there is one in Ethiopia, the first self-help Africa project, which is in Ethiopia, that is working with the farmers in Ethiopia, and also so his name is Johannes. He's creating something on coffee. Yeah, his company is, the name of the company is, this one is in Kenya. Inside Coffee. Yeah, Inside Coffee is a blockchain company. Coffee and Gravity Earth. Inside Coffee. Yeah, this is the website. Inside Coffee. So they are creating, yeah, this one. They are creating a way that you can be able to track the origin of coffee here in Kenya, and also pay the farmers directly. They are able to pay the farmers directly, and they also give loyalty points to farmers worth 50 cents. So these are, yeah. So these are some of the applications which are being built here in Kenya, and they are actually going directly to the farmer. That money is going directly to the farmer. So once they buy that coffee, and once you buy that coffee, you also tip them for their good work. Yeah. Which is very fast, considering that most time we have had cases here in Kenya that coffee has been stolen. Another thing is that farmers have not been paid the price of coffee. The price of coffee to farmer, the price of coffee in market is high, and the price that the farmer receive is less. So with blockchain, we are able to evenly move that. Yeah. So blockchain can address some of these inefficiencies. Many developers have already designed blockchain-based apps that provide for cheaper, secure, and near instantaneous peer-to-peer fund transaction. Some are even making use of smart contracts that trigger payment automatically as soon as the fulfillment of a certain condition, i.e., delivery of goods, is confirmed by the buyer. Recently, an Australian farmer became the first person to settle an agricultural transaction using this type of technology, and more will surely follow in the his footsteps. So another most important importance in blockchain is in music and art. Reduction of intermediaries. The number of middlemen in sales transaction make it very difficult for others to reach their target audience and makes their work more expensive. Then there is also guarantee of intellectual property. So we have seen what DTube is doing. It's paying people who have creative content or creative content and original content is being rewarded. So if your video or your content has never been posted anything, that is considered the original and unique. So you have rights to your content, and you are rewarded uh, for your work. The same case is happening on art, where artists are able to sell their art using NFT, selling the ownership of their art to people, and they have been able to make a lot of money. So blockchain can be applied in music for in areas of copyright. We can permanently store the intellectual property of our work in the cloud and manage it wherever and whenever we want. Improved traceability of creative content. The same thing, the same thing DTube is doing. Traceability of creative content. So another application of blockchain is to improve the traceability of artworks, as it is a complex uh, as it is a complex cryptographic technology. We can track the complete journey of a painting, a sculpture, or any variable object from its creation to its final destination. So blockchain stores information on the records, sales, studies, analysis, certification, appraisal, etc., related to an artwork. This reduces illicit trafficking in cultural property and solves the problem of counterfeiting. So I'll show you, as we wrap up, I'll show you the this one. We did see the example of Denmark. The other one was this one is Ben. It's a company in Ghana. So the problem they were solving is for land property, Ghana lacked a systematic way to determining the legal existence of a parcel and to track land ownership titles. This prevented authorities and property owners from having clear certainty and visibility over what belongs to whom, resulting in regular dispute. In addition, because previous processes were on paper, it could have taken over a year to register the sale stroke purchase of a property, which was a fraud risk for both sellers and buyers. So the solution they provided was Ben provides an Ethereum land digital register system of all land registry across Ghana. It is able to certify land information through the cross-cutting of satellite imagery and on the cloud verification, working hand in hand with local stakeholders in the land market. It aggregates all the information such that financial institutions and the land commission have a real-time access to the data. So property transaction times have been reduced by 70% and court dispute have been reduced. Another example is Ubin. It's in Singapore. It's a monetary authority of Singapore, MAS, conducted a study that found the interbank payments within Singapore and cross-border financial transactions were insufficient and slow. So MSA partnered with R, which is a consortium blockchain. So from the definition of consortium blockchain, we saw that it's mostly used by banks and government organizations, and it's a semi-decentralized type where more than one organization manages a blockchain network. So that is the one of the examples was R3, and they partnered with them, a consortium of bank and regulators, to create a prototype for a blockchain-based digital Singapore dollar to facilitate digital transaction. This would allow for incorruptibility of records through a decentralized trust system, and also a 24-hour processing with no centralized human-based checks required. The partnership has successfully developed software prototypes of 3 different models for decentralized interbank payment that are now being explored. MSA has published the source code as open source on GitHub. Yeah. So lastly, this is an example of how blockchain is being used in education. So the location is Cambridge, Massachusetts. How they are using blockchain in education is running machine teamed up with MIT Media Lab to create BrockSat. So BrockSat is a short form for Brock certificates, an open standard platform for creating, issuing, and verifying blockchain-backed certificate. By creating records like academic transcripts and credentials on a blockchain, the company can review the credibility of document and discover falsified information. Academic achievement like grades, transcripts, and even diplomas can be stored on a blockchain for immutability. Insight into past academic history. The same technique can be used even in patient records. Yeah. So real life use case is that more than 600 of 2018 MIT graduates chose to receive a digital version of their diplomas on blockchain. Consequently, the student academic records will be stored forever, and future employees can immediately verify them. So instead of sending and including your resume every time, you can just uh, send a copy of your wallet, and then of your record on blockchain, and then they can be able to see what you have been able to achieve. Yeah. So that concludes our lesson for today. Any question? Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Do you have
Hello.
a question?
Yeah, the question it might be a clarification.
Okay.
I'm just wondering
Mhm.
how did the US government was able to trace the transaction going on, donation going on to Hamas using the same chain? Because that means they have a higher level of will I say computing that we're able to break into those what's it called now, into those block to determine where the money is coming from and where the money is going.
Okay. So there was an app. Uh, so if you lead
I know you mentioned the Chainalysis.
Yeah, Chainalysis. So Chainalysis is this tool that uses so one way of being able to track is identifying a wallet, identifying a certain wallet that is involved. Let's
Okay. Okay.
like the recent hack that happened to pipeline, pipeline.
Mm.
This
In the
so it,
US?
in the US, so the receiving organization of Bitcoin was the one which was receiving Bitcoin had not properly, like they were not properly, they had not properly done their homework on security part, which FBI was able to exploit and was able to know the origin of the transaction. So the if I send you the if I send you Bitcoin using my if I send you Bitcoin, you will receive those Bitcoin, and then if you send the Bitcoins to Damaris, the
Mm.
transaction will be recorded. So what we will do is if uh, FBI or the government knows that I'm a malicious actor, they will always be checking my 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 they will always be checking my
Activities.
activities on the blockchain. So then all those people who are linked
Okay.
to my wallet, all those transactions that were
Mm.
linked to my wallet, those guys will be those addresses will be forwarded, and then they will be able to know. So like there is then another thing called ENS. ENS is Ethereum namespace. Uh, if that wallet, if that Bitcoin enters into an exchange, a centralized exchange, like a centralized exchange, a centralized exchange requires you to create to do your KYC, to fill in your details, so that money will also be tracked into your account. That data is still provided, will be provided by the exchanges, you see. So they will be able, because when you're going into an exchange, you want to convert those BTC or lead into other currencies, or you want to actually check out those Bitcoins to fiat currency, to real cash. Yeah. So when you are doing
Yeah.
that, they will also be able to track you. So because you when you're trying to countries like, I don't know if Israel has a way to tax crypto. US does has regulations on taxation of cryptocurrency. So you will be taxed. So when you do a large transaction, they will actually ask you where you are getting all that money, and why you are not paying tax. So that's how they are able to do all those tracking. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's why the different governments need to create needs to create policies governing how people are doing transaction on blockchain, to prevent such malicious actors. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then, secondly,
Mhm.
on the document provided
Mhm.
on the links, is
Yeah.
there's a permission that the links is requesting.
I did
I
I
tried to
did
access.
I did approve you. You requested for access, and I approved. Hello?
Uh,
Yeah.
I've not yet checked my mail, but it has not yet come.
Yeah. So this the list of, I let me see if You can also provide your email so that I can add you here. Can you use blockchain in civil engineering? Yes, we can use blockchain in civil engineering for storage of for recording for keeping records, generally for keeping records and plans of civil. Yeah. As part of the assignment, which I will give on Friday, that is, you can identify different areas or in your workplace or in your field, and identify ways you can be able to identify ways you can use blockchain in your field. Yeah. But yes, we can. Yeah. Damaris, could you kindly provide your email also? You, Ambrose. Hello. Okay. Let me add you. Share. Oh, Canada group there. Okay, then. Yeah. So I've shared a folder. It has different notes. It has notes on Marco tree. It has the entire course, that is introduction to blockchain. We have Ethereum and smart contracts, and we have blockchain technology. Yeah. So you can check your emails and confirm. Yeah. Okay. Any last question? Hello. Hello. Okay. Awesome. Have a nice evening, and yeah, see you tomorrow.